What's up everyone? Andrew with Dirt Rider here, and we have a 2019 KTM 350 EXC-F project bike built by none other than Jay Clark. Jay, tell us about this bike, man.
So as you can see, it looks amazing now, but it wasn't always amazing. When I got this thing, I got a good deal on it. The engine wasn't in good shape. It had a big problem. So it had run out of oil. So we went ahead and we redid the entire engine. So that was the main problem with the bike. And so since that was the case, we stumbled across some cool looking race cases without the Kickstarter boss, some moto cases, as you can see. So we have those cases on here, and Jamie went through, ported the engine for us, matched it up. We got the stock bore, stock compression, Wiseco in there, and Jamie's set up the engine, mapped it, all that, and we have the EXC-F cams in there. So the engine's really just like a moto engine, you know. So you got the good engine, and it's all mapped and set up with the FMF pipe and silencer. So that's the big thing that we did to this thing. And then of course suspension set up way more aggressive than a regular dual sport.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have some aftermarket pieces here. I know you mentioned before we started filming the IMS tank, obviously, IMS catch can in the frame.
Oh yeah, so of course the IMS tank and is larger, kind of a must for big rides, and the catch can in the frame fits in there so nicely. That's a really nice thing to have from IMS, so that if you boil over, catches it in there and then puts it back. So it's really nice in the coolant. And as you said, on the rest of the parts, it's kind of like what isn't on here. There's everything on this thing. Taco Moto is a good company out of Vegas who specializes in dual sports, and they go through and did a lot of the controls. You saw the start switch. They have a backup so that you can actually bump start the bike. You have a little generator kind of thing, a solenoid that will allow the thing to start if your battery's dead. Stock, they won't do that. He has a good piece here for the where the fuel line goes in, a fuel filter. A lot of little bits he did to this thing, and he hooked up all the moto-minded pieces too, with that raises up the readout here on the bike, and the moto-minded headlight. They have all those pieces that are really nice to have. And the big thing is his blinkers. His blinkers are next level. They're pretty cool. So with the rest of our controls, I really like the ODI Champ bar bends. That's what we run on all of our moto bikes. And we got those set up with the ODI grips and Enduro Engineering handguards. And then I run just one mirror on the left side, and double take mirrors are so nice because you can just tuck them away like so. Just great. And then you can pop it back up when you know in the situations where you want to see behind you. So while we had the bike down, we went ahead and went through had the radiators strengthened up from ICW. They're out of North Carolina. They strengthened up the radiators. At the rear of the bike, we got our Pro X chain and sprockets on here with our Tusk wheels. On the gearing, we're running a 1451, which seems a pretty good compromise for what we're looking for. Hunt Racing Products made a rear guard and a brake pedal tip for this thing. And you can see our foot pegs are pretty gnarly. These are actually stock pegs that are modified from Chuck at Metal Tech does this work. UFO plastic, Decal Works graphics, Moto seat cover, all take care of the looks of this thing. CV4 hoses from Wiseco has the hoses that we're able to eliminate the thermostat built in. So that's really nice to have. We have the Recluse torque drive on here. That's a really good feel. We like that conventional clutch feel. P3 skid plate gives us some good protection around the frame and engine. So for the tires on this thing, we're actually fully street legal with our EN91 front tire and a K950 Dunlop rear tire. For the kickstand, we have the Fastway Pro Moto billet. Makes a really cool kick-it kickstand, really heavy duty. It's a really nice addition to the bike. I think that's about it, man.
Well, shoot, man, that's a long list of parts. I hope there's not going to be a quiz on it later because I would need some time to study. But in the meantime, we're going to go ride this thing on the trails here and on the road as well and see how it performs and get back to you guys here in a little bit. Stay tuned. All right, so we just finished riding Jay Clark's 350 EXC-F, and what a fun day it was, and what an awesome project bike. We rode it a little bit on the pavement here. We also got some trail action, of course, as well. And I mean, really, you know what a dual sport is for. And on the trail, this bike, I definitely noticed the freer feeling in the engine from the mapping that Jamie Ellis at Twisted Development did. He did a killer job on that. So the engine character was definitely freer and more aggressive than a stock KTM dual sport. And then suspension-wise, it was really compliant. I mean, everything I hit, it was plush. There was no harsh feeling or anything. We didn't do any huge jumps or obviously big splatters or landings here, of course. This is more of a dual sport / trail bike. But everything that I hit on the suspension, it handled excellently. Handguards worked awesome. We didn't really need to use them a whole lot today, but I know Jay's going to be riding this bike in some gnarly terrain, so he's going to put them to good use. The ODI handlebars, nice and neutral. Seat was nice and grippy too. The Trials style rear tire was hooking up awesome out there, and same with the front as well. So yeah, all in all, everything Jay did to this bike, I would say was an improvement. The stock KTM dual sports are great as is, but as always, Jay managed to make it even better. So thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out the full test on dirtrider.com, and we'll see you next time.